Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Good morning to all the students. Today we will discuss very important current affairs of 9th and 10th of Jan 2022. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will see three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and fourth one is pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. It means if you want to cover one particular topic, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing you state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But if you are a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start 9th and 10th of Jan 2022 current affairs. But first of all, you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the first question in the most important section. Which state has been awarded with the first prize in 3rd National Water Awards 2020? So the most important keyword here is 3rd National Water Awards 2020. And this award goes to the state of Uttar Pradesh in the best state category. So answer of this question is C. So Union Minister of Jal Shakti Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji announced this 3rd National Water Award 2020. And you can see here the picture of Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji who announced this National Water Awards, and this is the third time that this ministry is giving this award. And you have to remember the second rank goes to which state? Second rank goes to Rajasthan, and third rank goes to Tamil Nadu. So if you belongs to these states, then you have to remember definitely Rajasthan is on the second position and Tamil Nadu is on the third position. So you can see here, there are so many categories. One category is best district award category. So you have to remember Muzaffarnagar in the Uttar Pradesh received the best district award in the northern zone, because there are several type of zones, like 5 zones are divided. So it is followed by the SBS Nagar, or you can say Shaheed Bhagat Singh Nagar in Punjab. And this national award was first instituted by the Ministry of Jal Shakti in the year of 2018. But you can see here these type of category, like best state UP, second rank goes to Rajasthan, and third rank goes to Tamil Nadu. We already covered this. And best district, there are different zones, like there are 5 categories in the zone, like northern zone Muzaffarpur, in the south zone it is Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, in the east zone it is East Champaran in Bihar, in the west zone it is Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and in the northeast zone it is Golpada, which is in state Assam. So you have to remember if you belongs to this state or if you belongs to this zone, because it can be asked by the examiner. And you have to remember about this award, National Water Award, which was first given in the year of 2018, and its main aim to create awareness among the people about the importance of water and attempt to motivate them to adopt best water usage practices. And remember, this type of award, or this Jal Shakti Ministry awards, is to recognize and encourage exemplary work and efforts made by the states, as well as you can say districts, individuals, organizations, because there are so many categories across the country in attaining the government's vision of Jal Samridh Bharat. Jal Samridh Bharat. But you have to remember about Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji, who is the Union Minister of Jal Shakti. His constituency is Jodhpur. Jodhpur is in which state? It is in Rajasthan. So remember, move into next question. Who won International Craft Award for 2021? Again, the keyword here underlined, International Craft Award, and it is for 2021. And this award goes to Kerala's Arts and Crafts Village organization. So answer of this question is B. So you can see here, Kerala Arts and Craft Village won the international award, and this is situated in Kovalam. And it was awarded with the International Craft Award for 2021 for the best craft village in the world, and this award is basically given by World Crafts Council International. Again, very important, and it is the only award India received in the non-individual category. And this Kerala Arts and Craft Village organization was established by one of the cooperative society, which is basically established for the state tourism department of the Kerala, just to increase the tourism in the state. And in 2017, you have to remember, the International Craft Awards were launched to honor recognition. It means first time this award was given in the year of 2017, and it is across the world who significantly contributed to the sustainable development of the handicraft industry. And in 2021, the Village of the Year award was won by one of the Malaysia's village. This is known as Craft Community Ku. So this is the name of the village. You have to just remember, craft stands for craft. So that's why this is Craft Award, and this is given by World Craft Council International. Very important. So you have to just remember the question as same as in slide, because there are so many categories, but the most important category is International Craft Award, and this is the best craft village in the world, and this is given to the Kerala Arts and Crafts Village organization, which is situated in Kovalam in Kerala. Move into next question. First World Deaf T20 Cricket Championship will be organized in which state of India? Because recently it was announced that it will be hosted by India, and one state was recognized to host this event, and this is the first World Deaf T20 Cricket Championship, and this will be hosted by Kerala. So answer of this question is B. So you can see here, International Committee of Sports for Deaf gave the approval to All India Sports Council of the Deaf to organize this event. It means the first World Deaf T20 Cricket Championship in the Kerala, and it will be hosted from 10th of Jan to 20th of Jan 2023. It means we are talking about for 2023. The championship was planned to be conducted in the year of 2020, but it was moved to 2023 due to COVID-19. And World Deaf T20 Cricket Championship exactly will be hosted in Trivandrum in Kerala, and it is expected to see participants from how many countries? 8 countries. But there are 2 organizations which are very, very important. You can see here, one organization is All India Sports Council of the Deaf. Its headquarters is in New Delhi. Its chairman is Mohinder Singh. And second organization, it is International Committee for the Sports of the Deaf. And this was created in the year of 1924, and its headquarters is in Lausanne. Lausanne is in Switzerland. There are so many organizations which headquarter in the Lausanne, and one of them is International Committee of Sports for the Deaf. But you have to remember about Kerala. Kerala's Chief Minister is Pinarayi Vijayan, and Governor is Arif Muhammad Khan. And very important national parks are situated in Kerala. You can remember Iravikulam National Park. Next, you can remember Silent Valley National Park, again very famous. Periyar National Park. There is Pampadam National Park, very famous, Pampadam National Park. Next is Anaimudi National Park. Anaimudi is also one of the highest peak on the Western Ghats. And total height of the Anaimudi is 2695 meter. So you can remember these important points about the Kerala. Moving to next question. So we are moving to the very important question section. First of all, you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. But first of all, I want to discuss about our PO course, which we started recently, and we are providing so many things so that it can increase your performance in the exam. So it is very important, and I will take 40 to 45 seconds so that you can understand what we are providing under this course. As you all know that we have started 25 days free course to crack IBPS PO mains examination, and this course was started on 13th of December and it will end on 14th of January. It means almost for 1 month we have started this course. And remember, this course frequency is from Monday to Friday. We will not upload any quiz on Saturday and Sunday. And in the quiz, we will upload 70 questions daily. Out of 70, 20 questions will be related to reasoning and 20 questions related to quant, or you can say mathematics, and 30 questions related to general awareness or current and banking awareness. You can see these are the quiz, and course could be attempted at any time. No daily limit is there, but course will be attempted only through application, that is Careers Cloud application. For more details, you can download this application from the description box. Moving to very important question section. So, it is the first question in the very important section. Which state signed a memorandum of understanding with National Dairy Development Board for holistic dairy development? Again, very simple question, and you have to remember the name of the state, and name of the state is Assam. So, answer of this question is A. So, you can see here Assam government and the National Dairy Development Board signs a MOU and they will establish a joint venture. And this joint venture cost is almost 2000 crore rupees. And its main aim just at processing 10 lakh liters of milk through 6 new milk processing units in 7 years. So, very important, especially for the state of Assam. And Assam will induct 15,000 high milk yielding Gir cows, which is situated in Gujarat, and to ensure high returns to the dairy farmers with the huge employment opportunities. And definitely, it would benefit more than like 1,75,000 dairy farmers of Assam and increase their earning. And we have a target that till the end of the 2022, we have to increase the, or you can say double the income of farmers. And 6 dairy processing facilities will be set up across Assam, where milk from more than 41,000 dairy cooperative societies will be processed, packed and marketed. So by definitely you can say it will increase the income of the farmers. And remember about this board, very important, National Dairy Development Board. It was established in the year of 1965. Most important, its headquarters, it is in Anand. Anand is in Gujarat. And its chairman is Minesh C. Shah. Minesh C. Shah. He is currently the chairman of this organization. And remember about Assam, very important state. Chief Minister is Himant Biswa Sharma. Himant Biswa Sharma, and governor is Professor Jagdish Mukhi, who is also the governor of Nagaland, additional charge given for the Nagaland. And very important national park, total 7 national parks are there in Assam. Like you can remember Kaziranga National Park, Kaziranga, Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, Rajiv Gandhi Orang National Park. Rajiv Gandhi was replaced and now it is only known as Orang National Park. Manas Biosphere Reserve and Manas National Park is there. Nameri National Parks, and 2 recently declared in 2020-21. One is Raimona National Park and the second one is Dahing Patkai National Park. These are 2 new declared national parks in Assam. So remember all these 7 national parks. I think we completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We completed all. Moving to next question. Rajnath Singh flagged in the first multi-dimensional adventure sports expedition in India, basically, in which country? So it is the first multi-dimensional adventure sports expedition of India, and it was inaugurated by Rajnath Singh ji. In which country? It was inaugurated by Rajnath Singh ji in France. So Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh ji flagged the first multi-dimensional adventure sports expedition of India, which was conducted by the National Institute, of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, and it will be organized in France. And the expedition was led by the director of NIMS, or you can say National Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, Colonel Sarfraz Singh. Very important. And Colonel Sarfraz Singh, along with 12 other, which include 8 army personnel and 4 youth of Arunachal Pradesh, will participate under this exercise. And the team explored the Mount Blanc trek, which covered the French, Swiss and the Italian Alps. And remember, the expedition team carried out over 250 km of winter trekking in the Alps mountain range in France. And the cycling journey of 975 km was also carried out from the Alps mountain ranges to the English Channel without any logistic via France, you can say Switzerland and the Belgium. And remember about Mount Blanc, why it is so much important. Mount Blanc is the highest peak in the Alps mountain range, the longest mountain range in Europe. And Mount Blanc is located on the border of France, Switzerland and Italy. That's why this Mount Blanc is very, very important. And you have to remember about France here. France capital is Paris. I think all the students know this, and president is Emmanuel Macron. Moving to next question. Ministry of Civil Aviation is set to establish India's first ever heli hub at which place? So this is just a static question. You have to remember the question as same as in slide, and it will be established in the Gurugram, or you can say Gurgaon. So the government of Haryana, in collaboration with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and both are set to establish India's first ever heli hub in the Gurugram. So it is the first of its kind heli hub in Gurugram, and it is designed to all the facilities in one place for the helicopters. And the hub will have several aviation facilities like heliport, hangars, repairs, and other related services. And the hub will be developed in 10 to 20 acres of land, well connected with the Dwarka Expressway and the National Highway 8. And this is one of the 10 helicopter hubs and corridors proposed by the new helicopter policy of the Civil Aviation Ministry. And who is the Union Minister of Civil Aviation? Union Minister is Jyotiraditya Scindia, whose constituency is Madhya Pradesh, currently member of Rajya Sabha. Remember all the things. Moving to next question. Which state launched a mobile application which is known as Urban Forest Park? So very important question. Again, this is the static question. And the Forest Department of Telangana recently launched first of its kind mobile application which is known as Urban Forest Park. And you can see here it gives all the information about the theme based urban forest parks and facilities the visitors to plan their visits and the journeys. And the app provides all the information about the parks, you can say, including entry ticket fee, special features of the park, distance from the app user, route application, and other things which are related to user. And in the first phase, the application discloses information for 39 parks. But in the second phase, the information of all other parks across the state will be covered. So it means this application will be opened in the two phases. First, 39 parks it will be covered, and second, all the parks will be covered. So remember about Telangana. This is again very important question. And Chief Minister is K. Chandrasekhar Rao, and Governor is Tamilisai Soundararajan. And you have to remember, she is also the Governor of Puducherry after the resignation of Kiran Bedi. And very famous wildlife sanctuaries are there. Wildlife sanctuaries like Pranhita Wildlife Sanctuary, very important. Pranhita Wildlife Sanctuary, very important tributary of Godavari. Pranhita is very important tributary of Godavari. Next is Shivaram Wildlife Sanctuary, Shivaram Wildlife Sanctuary, Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary, Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary. So these three are very, very famous. And three important national parks are also in Telangana. One is KBR National Park, KBR, it is Kashu Brahmananda Reddy National Park. Next is Mahavir Harina National Park, Mahavir Harina. Next is Mrugavani National Park, Mrugavani National Park. So all things are very, very important about Telangana. Moving to next question. Cash withdrawal from micro ATMs of AEPS. AEPS stands for Aadhaar Enabled Payment System, has a limit of rupees dash per transaction. Recently, National Payment Corporation of India set some new guidelines. So according to these guidelines, maximum limit can be the 10,000 rupees. So cash withdrawal from the micro ATMs of the Aadhaar enabled payment system has a limit of rupees 10,000 per transaction. And you can see here NPCI set standardized limit for the cash withdrawals and the mini statements on the Aadhaar enabled payment system transactions. And you have to remember, as per the guidelines, the acquiring banks will have to implement a maximum limit of 5 approved cash withdrawal transactions per customer per terminal per day. And cash withdrawals from the micro ATMs of the Aadhaar enabled payment system has a limit of 10,000 rupees per transaction. And it will be implemented from the 15th of Jan 2022. And remember, issuers will implement a standardized limit of minimum of 5 approved cash withdrawal transactions per month for every customer. Per month for every customer. And further, issuers will also implement a standardized limit of a minimum of 5 statement transactions per customer per month. So again, this is very, very important. And there will also be a 2-factor authentication for login of the business correspondent and also the agents and the merchants at least once a day. At least once a day with one of the factors as Aadhaar based or biometric authentication. And for this, like for the business correspondent security, it will be implemented from 31st of Jan 2020. All other things will be implemented from 15th of Jan, but 2-factor authentication for the business correspondent agents and for the merchants, it will be implemented from the 31st of Jan 2022. But you have to remember, this is a new guidelines of the NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, which was established in the year of 2008. Its head is Dilip Asbe, and remember, headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Moving to next question. International Conference of Academic Institution 2022 held at which place? Just remember the question as same as in slide. And this conference is inaugurated by Gujarat Chief Minister. It means I am talking about Bhupender Patel. So answer of this question is Gujarat. C is the answer. So very simple question. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupender Patel inaugurated a 2-day international conference of academic institutions, and it will be held at Gujarat Science City campus, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So you can see here, Gujarat 30 MOUs signed at International Conference on the Academic Institution 2022. And at this conference, Chief Minister launched the second edition of Student Startup and Innovation Policy, SSIP 2.0. So SSIP 2.0 intends to establish an innovation and incubation center in each of the 90 odd universities in the Gujarat. So it aims to provide a financial assistance to the schools and colleges students up to the age of 35 years to build prototypes, and also financial assistance for filling at least 1,000 intellectual properties and building a pre-incubation support system in the 500 institutions and the university. In simple word, you can say that this policy will support the school students as well as the university students to open any type of the startup, or to give you can say wings to the startup. And SSIP 2.0 will remain in the force till March 2027. And 30 MOUs signed in the higher and technical education sector in the Gujarat. This is again very important. And the MOUs were signed ahead of the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2022, which was scheduled to be held between the 10th of Jan to 12th of Jan 2022. It means it started today and it will end on the 12th of Jan 2022. But you have to remember about Gujarat here. Gujarat governor is Acharya Devvrat, and chief minister is Bhupender Patel. And 4 national parks are very important. One is the Gir National Park, Vansada National Park, Black Buck National Park, and Marine National Park. Marine National Park. So these are very, very important. Next is, what is the name of first black actor and the first Bahamian to win over the Oscar award for the best actor, but he recently passed away. So you have to remember the name of this black actor, the first black actor who received the Oscar award for the best actor category. And answer of this question is Sidney Poitier. So answer of this question is D. So Sidney Poitier is a Bahamian American actor, the first black actor and the first Bahamian to win the Oscar award for the best actor award. And you can also see here the picture, Oscar winner and groundbreaking star Sidney Poitier passed away. And remember, he was born in the United States of America, but until his death, he was the oldest surviving male Academy Award winner. And he is well known for his films like The Defiant Ones, The Rising in the Sun, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and In the Heat of the Night. And he served as the Bahamian ambassador to the Japan from 1997 to 2007, and he was also served as the ambassador of the Bahamas to the United Nations Education and Scientific Culture Organization. Very important. And he published his autobiography. You have to remember the name of the autobiography, The Measure of a Man, a spiritual autobiography, and he published this autobiography in the year of 2000. And he has authored several books, including, you can say, Montero Kane, This Life, Life Beyond Measure. These are the books which were written by this person. And Sidney Poitier received this Oscar Award or Academy Award for the Best Actor for Lilies of the Field in 1963 and honorary award presented in 2001. And remember, in 2009, the then President of United States of America, Barack Obama, honored Poitier with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor of the United States of America, for his artistic and humanitarian achievement. So remember the name. Name is very important, Sidney Poitier, and the important fact is first black actor who received Oscar award for the best actor category, and the name is Sidney Poitier. But you can also see the other names. These are again very important obituaries, like Wilbur Smith. He was a renowned South African novelist who recently died. Next is Bandula Varnapura. He was very famous Sri Lankan cricketer, also the captain of the Sri Lankan cricket team, who was recently died. Next is Vasu Pranjpe, the former Indian cricketer and coach who recently died. So all the obituaries are very, very important. Moving to next question. 5 world powers issue pledge to prevent nuclear war, and these 5 countries are like China, France, Russia, the UK and the US, said that the nuclear war cannot be won and the must never be fought. So, five most powerful nations of the world like China, France, Russia, UK, and the United States of America. And all the countries have agreed and signed a pledge or the joint statement to prevent atomic weapons from spreading and to ensure a nuclear war never fought. And the five nations were the nuclear weapons state recognized by the 1968 Treaty of the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. And the joint statement represent a renewed commitment to the prevent of any confrontation from the turning into the nuclear war. So you have to remember this treaty. This is the NPT treaty, which is also known as Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. And these five countries are also known as the five permanent countries, five permanent members of the United Nations, also known as P5 and the Nuclear 5. But the most important thing under this question is the NPT treaty. You have to remember it is an international treaty. This NPT treaty is the international treaty to prevent the spread of the nuclear weapons and the weapons technology, to promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of the nuclear energy and to achieve complete nuclear disarmament. And the treaty was opened for signature in 1968 and later entered into force in 1970. And a total of 191 states or the countries have joined this treaty, including the five nuclear weapon states, or you can say five permanent countries. But the most important thing, four United Nations member states have never signed this treaty. And one of them is India, Israel, Pakistan, and South Sudan. So these four countries never signed this treaty. Even North Korea is the only country to withdraw from the treaty. And remember these facts, these are very, very important about the NPT. And recently you can also remember very important fact about India regarding the satellite and the nuclear missile track ship satellite. And this is in September 2021. India has launched the first satellite and the nuclear missile tracking ship, which is known as INS Dhruv. INS Dhruv. And it is the first of its kind ocean surveillance ship that is capable of tracking ballistic missiles at a long range. So this is a new technology which is developed by India, and it is also to develop the Make in India concept. Moving to next question. So moving to the important question section, you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Government estimates, government stands for the National Statistical Office, NSO, which comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Planning Implementation, predicts the India's GDP growth rate at 9.2% in the financial year 22. So in accordance with the estimates of the growth in the real gross domestic product or the GDP at constant prices for 2022, or you can say for the financial year 22, stood at 9.2% as compared to the contraction of minus 7.3% or 7.3% in 2020-21. So they predicted 9.2% growth. But remember, the estimate is lower than the 9.5% GDP growth projection of the Reserve Bank of India, because RBI predicted 9.5% growth in the financial year 22. And remember, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation comes under the Minister of State Independent Charge, who is Rao Inderjit Singh. Rao Inderjit Singh. Moving to the next question, it is our one-liner important point. Telangana's first forest minister launched mobile application Urban Forest Park. We already covered this question. Next, Prime Minister Modi ji inaugurated the second campus of the Chittaranjan National Cancer Institute in Calcutta. So you can just remember that it was established in Calcutta, and the facility would assist in ensuring quality healthcare to the people of the poor and the middle class. And the new campus will also act as the Advanced Cancer Research Center. Next, India to overtake Japan as the Asia's second largest economy by 2030. It is the study of IHS Markit Limited report, and India will overtake Japan as the Asia's second largest economy by the year of 2030. And India is also projected to surpass that of Germany and the United Kingdom in terms of the GDP or gross domestic product. And India will become the third, you can say, most GDP country. And currently India is the sixth largest economy in the world, behind the United States of America, China, Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom. But India will surpass the Germany and United Kingdom. Next is India GDP growth for financial year 22 could be revised to 9.5%. It is SBI economic report, which is known as ECORAP. And recently, Ministry of Statistics, you can say, projected 9.2%. So SBI ECORAP said that it can be revised to 9.5%. Just remember. Next, Sri Lankan cricketer Dhanushka announced retirement from the test cricket. So Sri Lankan cricket, a National Cricket Association of the Sri Lanka had announced the country's opening batsman Danushka announced retirement from the test cricket at the age of 30 and focus on the white ball format. And recently one you can say player from Sri Lanka which is known as Bhanuka Rajapaksa. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Sri Lanka batter, who also announced his retirement from the international cricket. Next, Assam signs memorandum of understanding with the National Dairy Development Board for the dairy development. Already covered this question. So moving to the question of the day, what was the question of 8th of Jan 2022? Question was very simple. The minimum amount that could be transferred using real-time gross settlement. So the RTGS system is primarily meant for the large value transactions, and the minimum amount to be remitted through RTGS is 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh, this is the minimum, and with no upper or the maximum ceiling. So no maximum ceiling is there, but the minimum is 2 lakh rupees and full form is real time gross settlement. So moving to the question of the day, what is the question? Which of the following bank does not have its headquarters in Calcutta? Again, very important, and you have to tell me answer only in the comment box. I'm waiting your answer. Please like this video. Please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group and press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. But it is a Fairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.